Today's about getting team buy-in, and there's been a few of you who've commented on this, and I actually had the pleasure of having a chat with a couple of you earlier this week, a couple of days ago, about getting team buy-in. It is an issue, and in today's world, you know, there is so much happening that, yeah, people are losing momentum. They don't really care too much about staff. Some people don't even know if they've still got it, if they still keep their job. Closures, lockdowns, all of that comes into play. But do you know what? At the end of the day, none of that is in our control. So what we need to really focus on is understanding that, yeah, do you know what? That's the context that we live in. That's the world we live in right now. But what can we control? And you'll probably hear me say that quite often is, let's bring it back to what we can control. And at the end of the day, getting team buy-in is really about the motivation. It's about the what's in it for them, and it's about the environment that you're creating for them to make sure that they are motivated. See, the thing is that it's not your job to motivate someone. It's your job to create that motivating environment, because if you try and try constantly trying to push people and motivate them and get them engaged, and like, come on, we can do this. It's going to be great. We're going to have this, and it's going to be this. And then, at the end of the day, if somebody's not already intrinsically motivated, it's all for naught. And that's only going to lead to frustration and anxiety for you and stress. And you'll probably be just pulling your hair out going, what is going on? Which could be why you're here right now. So, of course, when we're looking at this team buy-in, it really is around a few different factors. So let me know in the comments of how this is actually impacting on you, and give me some couple of situations so I can use those and help embed this training and the information that I'm giving you. Because as you know by now, my mantra is all about implementation. So for those of you who are watching who don't know me, I'm Emma Rhodes. I'm the founder of Her Leadership Journey and the creator of the Inspired Leaders Academy, which is a 12-month program that we take you through, going from invisible and unheard and overlooked in your workplace right through to being a confident and influential leader, being invited to the decision-making table and being asked for input and actually developing that influence. And so the Academy teaches you the skills that you need to do that. We help you to create the vision that you need, and also to help you build your networks and relationships through that whole entire process. So you can ultimately make the impact that you want to make in your workplace. Because if you are unable to do that, then no amount of learning a leadership skill or of some description is actually going to help you make the change that you want to make. And that has to actually come from holding a bit of influence. And that really just means having somebody being able to listen to what you're saying. When you speak, people listen. That's pretty much influence as it boils down to it. So that's what the Academy is really all about. Inside there, we obviously teach you management skills, leadership skills. There's 2 coaching sessions a month, so we can really help guide you through that process. And it's exciting. I love it. We had a new members welcome call this morning, so we've got some new relationships happening. Anyway, so I created this group here, this Female Leaders Collective group, as a way for everybody just to come together and a space to talk to. I never had it when I stepped into management for my first role, and I was completely at a loss. I spent a few years wondering if it was me, what was happening, what I was doing wrong, before I realized that it was actually the environment that I was in, and the fact that, you know what, I didn't have any influence. And I was trying to make this change and I couldn't, because nobody was listening to me. And so I went through all of this myself, and I thought, if I talk louder, people are going to hear. If I stamp my foot up and down, people are going to listen to me. It doesn't work that way. So everything that I'm teaching you comes from my training that I've done through my diploma of coaching, through my leadership and management diploma, as well as my own personal experiences, as well as helping you guys over the last few years. So this place here on Facebook is somewhere for you to come to get some extra support, to float some ideas around, to ask for some help, but also for me to be able to share and help guide you through. So when you are ready to come and join us inside the Academy, that you have some of the knowledge and skills already ready to go. So that's a little bit about me. So for those of you who've been with me for a while, know that implementation is key. So let me know in the comments what's actually happening for you. even if you're watching the replay, pop your comments in here about how this getting team buy-in or team motivation is impacting on you in the workplace, both positive and negative, because we really need to see both sides of that story. So what we're actually, just want to double check that we do have those comments. It looks like it's frozen. That's all right. I'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye as we're going. So team buy-in comes down to a few different things. The first one is you need to have a vision. So what are they even there for? Now, if people are at work just for the money, that's great. And we will know that there will always be people like that. This might be a stopgap for them. It's a stepping stone. But while they're there with you, we want them to be engaged, and we want them to have motivation, and we want them to feel heard and valued themselves. So we do that by getting people on board with a vision. So this can be like your team's vision. I would ask that you create something that's separate to just your KPIs, because that is an extrinsic motivator, which is if you do this, we'll give you that. If you do this, we'll give you that. If you come to work and work these hours, we'll give you this money. Those are great motivators, but they're extrinsic. And all of us carry inside an intrinsic motivator, something that will get us to do something without an external reward. And so if we look at this like our passions or our hobbies or things that we're doing, not to get something, but because we just get enjoyment from it. And a lot of us are here because we like to help other people. We like to grow and develop others. We really want to make an impact and be influential in other people's lives. There's no real external reward for that. And that's what motivates us from the inside. So your role as a leader is to tap into that intrinsic motivation of each of your people. If you don't know what it is, then it means you haven't been spending enough time with them. And so that's another pillar of getting team buy-in. They need to know that they can trust you. They need to know that you will actually have their best interests at heart. And the only way we can do that is by spending time with people. We cannot just click our fingers and go, oh, okay, now they trust me. That develops over time. And it develops when you make an effort to sit with them, to talk with them, to listen to them, to find out what they do on the weekends and who they're involved in and what they love to do outside of work, why they love working here. So all of these types of things you will need to be able to sit down with and get to know them. So if you are doing that and you start to understand already what motivates them, both intrinsic and extrinsic. You know how some people like money, that's a reward. Other people might do above and beyond if they get an opportunity to, get a holiday or to get a promotion, whatever it is. We all have our own individual motivators. So if you're not getting team buy-in because you haven't spoken to those motivators individually, and I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. It comes down to simply understanding the people that we're talking with. So Lisa's popped a comment in here. She runs workshops, and since COVID, they've been low on participants, even though the work we do is required, I think. Go down the old track of building enthusiasm and it's not working. My managers have asked for us to get more of these, to get more to these sessions so they can be developed and up to date with processes. So obviously we know there, Lisa, that the external reward is the job, basically, that you're doing your job. Not really hugely motivational for people. So if we then, let's take that back and work out why they're not turning up. What's actually happening? Are they just sick and tired of being on another Zoom session? We all are. So the whole idea is to understand the why behind it. Why aren't they turning up? And that's going to be different for everybody. So Lisa, it might be picking up the phone and calling them, going, hey, I noticed that you didn't turn up to our last workshop. What's actually happening here? Talk to me about what was the barrier there for you? And you'll start to understand what it is. If it's time, it's really about the value. Are you providing enough value for them? Are they over the format? How can you make it fun, engaging? I don't know what it is. So until we work out what it is, then no solution is going to be able to help you. So the idea is to go back to someone that your team aren't getting buy-in. You've got a new product, a new program that's been dictated to you that you have to go and implement. And it might be a product that you have to go and sell. And the team are like, oh, yeah, radio. what's actually happening? Why aren't they getting excited about it? And the only way you can find that out is by sitting and talking with them and asking that question straight out. What's happening? What's going on? And at the end of the day, everybody wants to come to work for a vision of some sort. If it's for their money, great. If it's for something else, great. You need to find out what it actually is. But in saying that, you also don't then maneuver and change around what you do to suit the people you've got. Right. And so this is where my analogy of, getting on or getting off the bus, it comes into play, because you as the leader, if we're talking about a team here, you have control over your team. There might be some things in your organization that you don't have control over, that you also have to just go and do, that are dictated to you. But you have control over your team and what it means to come and work for you, and what kind of leader you want to be, what kind of team you want to create, what kind of dynamics, what kind of culture. What do you want them to say about your team when they're out at a barbecue talking to their friends, or on Zoom talking to their friends, as nobody's having barbecues these days? But you get the understanding here of what I'm actually saying. When you've created that, then you have started that foundation of being a motivational environment. You've got to give them somewhere to come to, somewhere that they can actually swap their time for. If you find that you've created this bus, which is this vision of where you're going, and you're like, right, guys, we're taking this team to be this fun place where we're going to have lots of fun. We're going to be engaging. We're going to get really great results. This is the impact we're going to make to our clients. Who wants in? You'll find people will get on, and people will, after a while, they feel like they have to get on, obviously, because that's their job. Probably going to make the road rocky. And ultimately, if you stay true to your course and you keep communicating your vision, they're going to get off. They're like, do you know what? This bus is just going in the wrong direction for me. I'm not happy here. And they'll leave. So that is the get on, get off. So the idea is that whilst you understand what motivates everybody, you as the leader need to lead the vision. If you don't have a vision, then you'll forever be just trying to make people happy left, right, and center. Never going to work. Because while one time you make somebody happy over here, then this person over here isn't happy. So the idea is that you lead. You get to know your people. You work out what's in it for them. What is actually the individual intrinsic motivator? And if you've never spent some time with your people, then start by having a cup of coffee with them. Start by scheduling a Zoom session with them if you don't get to see them, if they're remote. Just do it one-on-one and go, hey, I just want to know a little bit about you. You could say that, yep, you're trying to just develop some more relationships, and this is the part of it. Whatever it might be, just make sure you find the time to do it. Because as a leader, your role is now your people. You are the one out the front. You have the vision. You have where you're going, what you want to create. You need to communicate it so that everybody can hear and it hits each individual person. So you can say, come on, let's go. Let's do this. And ultimately, even if you have people who will get off the bus, you've got this vision, you can start to recruit with this vision as well. So then you'll find people who are like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And eventually you'll have all of you going. So right now you might have inherited a team that have just completely disengaged. This is what you need to do first. You need to set the expectation, understand that it's not your job to motivate them, but you need to create the motivating environment. You need to talk about your vision with such enthusiasm and the impact that it's going to make on people. And you can only communicate that so it hits each individual person right here where it matters, if you know what matters to them right here. Otherwise, you're just guessing. Janine's got, you've set up a meeting tomorrow to set our team's vision. We don't have that at the moment, only the high level vision. Yeah, 100% agree that this is the problem in our team. Awesome, Janine, that's so good. And absolutely, if you don't have a team vision, get everybody together to create one. Go, look, guys, this is what I want to achieve. This is where I want to go. All of us here are operating as a team. What kind of team do we want it to be? What do we want? If we were talking about our team to other people, what do we want to, what would we say about, is it fun to work here? Do I feel heard? Is it flexible? Do people really appreciate my input? Do I get a chance to say stuff? All of these things is something that's important to each and every person. So you need to find out what that is. So that is awesome, Janine. Please let us know how that goes. If it's something that you've never done before, it might be quite awkward to start with. So you might need to lead and guide a little bit to where you want to go. But then that also sets the expectation of what it means to come and work here. So if you have any kind of cultural issues, pardon me, or behavioral issues that are coming up, you can say, hey, do you know when we created that team vision and we said that we would do this and we would behave like this and we would respect each other like this and we, you know, all of these things that you talk about. Well, over the last month, I've noticed you haven't really been doing it. And in fact, I've seen this and this and this from you. Talk to me about what's going on, what's happening here. So you can really only have that conversation if you've done that pre-work before about setting that expectation and saying, this is what it means to come and work here. And once you've got that vision and that expectation, any new people that come into your team, you can share it with them and go, hey, this is what it means to work here. Our team have put this together. We'd love your input as well as once you get settled in. But this is basically what we expect, the behaviors from you, how we talk with one another, what permissions we've given each other, and ultimately what it means to come and work here. What do we want other departments to say about us? And I remember doing this with my sales team, and it was really, it was a tough gig, and we weren't having fun at all. And when I came in, we had a new person come into the team as well. So it was prime time to actually start setting a bit of a vision. And so we decided together as a team that we wanted to be the fun team. You know, we wanted to have people go, oh, there goes Emma's team. You know, I want to join them. They look like they have fun all the time. And so I said, okay, great. So what does that mean then? What does it look like? How do we know when we can tick that box? And so we started coming down to things like when we had one of our team meetings, we did a dress up. But what we did was we started at the very front of the office. It was a really big, long office. And so we all got dressed up, and people were on phones and things, so we couldn't make too much noise. But we were on our way to the meeting room at the very back of the office. And so we all got dressed up and we paraded ourselves through, and we stopped in at the CEO's office and we were like, oh, hi, how you going? And people were like, what are they doing? And so, you know, off we went, and we went down and we played games and things down there. We took photos and we put them out through the intranet as well. You know, team awards and things, all of that stuff was then what we came together as a team and decided what it meant to be fun, what it meant to be working with us. And of course, that had all kinds of, advantages to it for coming together as a strong knit team. But the idea is you guys decide what you want as a team. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be known for? Do you guys want to be high achievers? Do you want to be the fun team? Do you want, I don't know what it is. Do you want to be, you know, really great customer satisfaction? Do you want to be getting all of the customer testimonials come in? All of that stuff, you guys get to choose what you're going to be, and then you operate within the confines of your organization, but you guys control what you can control. So if you're not getting buy-in, it's about the vision. Make sure you create that vision of what it means to work with you, what it means to do that piece of work. So if you are implementing a new piece of work, a new product or something you've got to sell, if you've got these workshops, Lisa, what does it mean? You know, what is the purpose of that? And it's not just about how they can just do their job, but if their intrinsic motivator is to impact on the lives of somebody else, then that's the piece that you need to talk to. By doing this work, we're going to hit this here. And when we hit this here, that means X for everybody else. So we don't want to make it too much about them, but we actually want to appeal to that intrinsic motivator of why they even work there, why they come here. And most of the time it is because we want to help other people. We want to make an impact. But until you work it out, you need to sit with your team members to really understand what drives them, what motivates them, why they've chosen this kind of workplace over another workplace, why they want to work in this team versus another team. Get to know them a little bit better and you'll understand that. So then when you've got your vision, you're able to communicate it to hit their intrinsic motivators. And then you're able to set the expectations of what it means to come and work here, what it means to go to these webinars, what it means to be a part of this team. So those are your 3 areas that you need to work on to get team buy-in. And the underlying mindset of that is that it's not your job to motivate people. It's your job to create the motivating environment. And motivation means something different for every single person. So I hope that has been helpful for you. Lisa says, yes, that makes sense. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything else you would like me to run over for this training. And I do invite you guys to jump on. If we haven't had a chance to have a one-on-one chat yet, please just reach out to me, either type in the comments, one-on-one call, or send me a message. I love to be able to help you guys. That's my motivator. That's my intrinsic motivation, is to be able to create amazing workplaces. And ultimately, I can't do it on my own. I am one person, and I realized that early on, that I was only me and I could impact on one organization. But actually, if I took all of this knowledge and everything that I had and created a space like this and created the academy, then I was actually able to impact on all of you. You would then go out to your organizations and we would get a faster impact, faster change that way. So that's my ultimate goal. So if I can take you through from invisible to influential as quickly as possible, then you are able to make that change that I also want to see out in our workplaces as well. So our first step is to just chat. Let's have a chat. Talk to me what's going on, and I'll help you out with that. Thank you. Oh, Lisa, I'm glad it's been great. Oh, you're welcome, Janine. Lisa, yes, absolutely. I love how you turn up no matter how many people are online. Maybe I should stop canceling workshops and just follow through with them, even with small numbers. Yes, you should. I will never cancel something unless if something's happened, but I won't ever cancel it for low numbers. I'll turn up and I will be here for you guys. If I said I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. There are some times where I have dropped the ball on that, and I recognize that, which is why diaries, everybody, 1 o'clock every Thursday, it's in mine. And I will come on live here no matter where I am, unless, of course, I'm in hospital and unable to talk. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So yeah, that's a great learning for you, Lisa. I will always turn up. And yes, absolutely a new strategy. And I know some of you watch the replay, so I know that work gets in the way. We're not all here. Thank you, Janine. Love it. We can't all turn up. Things happen. Life happens. We get called to meetings. The time just doesn't suit. I can't try and please everybody. So 1 o'clock on a Thursday it is. If you can't make it, the recording stays here in the group, which is what I love so much about Facebook as well. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday. And in the meantime, please reach out and let's just jump on and have a one-on-one Zoom chat. Half an hour. I will absolutely help you out as much as I possibly can. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the afternoon and enjoy your weekend if I don't speak to you beforehand. Bye.